do that today because we can't put out too many fires unless we have water. So it's still a practice that we do. We go out and shovel out the hydrants, and most of the time back then these guys didn't get paid for it. They would just do it to make sure that things were ready in case something happened. Right? Coventry was built. Obviously Coventry had a big impact on the city when that subdivision got built. So this was kind of cool that they took the one fire engine and parked it in front of the sign and took the picture. We believe this took place around 1963, the date down there. We talked about the different events that we'd have each year. We'd have the firemen's dance each year. One of the things that we would do ahead of time was we'd have a stuffing party. And it was all the husbands and wives would get together. We'd have it at different locations, have a little meal and stuff like that. And we would stuff hundreds to thousands of envelopes with a letter, a return envelope, lick them, and then we found out that you could get these little sponges and wet them down. And we'd even have, and the whole shot, put them together, and we had a whole assembly line. So that's what this is. This is one of those assembly lines that we would have. That's Lieutenant Gumprick and his wife, Joanne. And as I said, Joanne also, I believe, was part of the Women's Auxiliary in the early days. And it was just a big time when we could all get together and have a good time and just reminisce, find out what's going on, because at this time, as things got busier and busier, we really didn't get spend much time with. And again, keeping that core that the fire department is another family. We have our home family, and then we have our fire department family. And that's all stuff that's been passed down to us. Goes back to the beginning of the fire department from 1914, and all the way through. These guys have passed that on, and we continue to pass it on. All right? Then we'd have the firemen's dance. Again, it would be at some local hall where everybody would get together and have a good time. Sometimes we would have a fire call, so we realized that we have to make sure that some people are still protecting the rest of the town. But there's some people in here. This is another one that was later in the years. We started adding dinners into them where the people would actually show up. They would have dinner, and then after dinner hour would be a certain time. And then after dinner, we'd have a band that would start up, and the people would start dancing. And it was a good portion of the town would show up to these. And they would thank us and everything else. And again, all this money that we made at these different dances each year went into the fire department, or went to the Crystal Lake Fire Rescue Association, which was the Women's Auxiliary and the Crystal Lake Fire Rescue Association, as the Women's Auxiliary got dumped into that. And we would use it to buy things like the safety trailer, our pub ed stuff, a lot of stuff we hand out during Fire Prevention Week, all kinds of different equipment we bought over the years. I know that we've purchased four-wheel drive pickup trucks for brush trucks. Just a host of stuff that we would do to help buy equipment. With a picture of us earlier and all of our yellow gear on, that was purchased by, if I remember, the Crystal Lake Fire Rescue Association also bought those yellow coats and all that. So help out with things that are coming on. Training continued on. Again, this is what it looked like at those county meetings, having guest speakers, the old movies that we'd watch about different fires and education. Training. Okay? Just actually hands-on practicing with different things. And I believe this gentleman right here is Jimmy, right? Right here, Jimmy? Yeah, Jim Behrens, who's just another outstanding person on the fire department. Just all-around just great guy, and it was just a lot of fun to be with on calls because he was always cool and calm. And everybody else would be running around. Jim would show up and say, well, just put water on the fire, it'll go out, type of a guy. So, doing all different types of training. Again, getting in and out of package patients and stuff like that. This is using a ladder to put somebody on. And again, this also led into, when I showed the picture earlier, of bringing the person out of the water tower using the helicopter and Stokes baskets. That's how we learned all this stuff. It's from the guys that were in front of us is why the fire department is such a great place that it is today. Okay? Working as team members and just practicing all the time. Okay? Big fires continue to happen. The equipment we need to continue the equipment, keep the training and all that. This is May's Drug Store, which was a big event fire back then. I mean, what year was that? May's Drugs, 70s? Something like that? Yeah. All right. One of the other things we started doing also, because as we started going out on car accidents and incidents taking place, one of the things we also do with our pub ed program that we would support was the Operation Prom, or Operation Homecoming, where we'd actually mock a car accident, and Flight for Life started to become a big factor for us, getting patients to hospitals faster, our EMS service with our ALS ambulances. So every year we started doing this mock drill at different high schools where we'd stage an accident, we'd have the ambulance come in, package up the patients and everything else, fly them out, the whole shot, to kind of do an impact to the kids of how important we have to be careful with stuff. Okay? Training and all that, car accidents get more now into rescue than we do fires. Using Flight for Life, our specialized training that we have with our rope guys, trench rescue and all that, whatever it might be, answering calls at all hours of the day and all times of the day. And then this is the current fire department today. Okay? All right. That's our Station 1. Our Station 3, which we just renovated and added on to meet today's needs. And this is the Station 4 out there at Bard Road. Okay? Some of the people that affect us a lot of time, as I said before, I use that picture of Joyce, but Lieutenant Stevenson has just been a great person to have on our department. She's still here with us. She does so much we can never thank her. I threw this in there because she's a personal friend of mine, and she's been very supportive of me. Just a great person. So Joyce, I thank you. A lot of stuff that I have knowledge, and the person I am are people like Joyce, Chief Krecker, Chief Neville, Lieutenant Gumprick, those kind of people that have made a big difference in our lives. And then we always forget about these people here. I didn't realize who this was at first, because they were in a spot and a picture that I had never recognized these two women. And then when I saw this next picture, I really realized who they were, because that's usually how I see them. This was a little bit too serious for me and for them. So I came across this picture, and I realized that that's the secretaries, and that's usually how we see them, having a good time. They lighten things up, and they are really the core of the fire department. It's the secretaries. They never get enough credit. They're the ones that have to handle all the calls, the phone calls, and everything else. So again, to Linda and Nett, just more people that help us out and make the fire department a better place. And I can't end this, and I can't go on without thanking my family, my daughter and a half, my daughter's best friend, my daughter June, her best friend Janelle, who's like a second daughter to me. They've been friends since grade school, and I am because of the people that are around me. And I have to thank Judy, who's been very supportive of me lately with some stuff that's been going on personally. So to those people in this room, I wouldn't be who I was unless it was them. It's the people that were before me that taught me who I need to be and treat people in the town to be the fireman that I am today. It wouldn't have happened unless those guys in the city council in the city back all the way in the 1900s and the first original 12 in 1914, they're the ones who set the standard that we are the best fire department there is around. So I'd like to thank those people. That's it. That's enough.